based in the United States of America has tabled a case before the U.S. Federal Court of Justice against Cho Ayaba, who is notorious for committing crimes against humanity in the southwest and northwest region. According to Barrister Emmanuel Nsala, this court case that will be going to court in no distant time will be an eye-opener to other Anglophone separatists who are hiding in the diaspora while causing chaos in homeland, as we have details in this report. The fight against terrorism meted on the vulnerable population of the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon by warmongers like Ayaba Cho and others has now taken a different twist following the lawsuit against him by one of the Cameroonian international lawyers who is residing in the U.S., who has taken the cause to the U.S. Federal Court in Los Angeles.
Norway has provided the platform, the financial assistance, the protection to an international terrorist such as Cho Ayaba Lucas, and has shielded and protected him from prosecution.
The lawsuit that is worth more than 600 billion CFA francs has seen the nation of Norway finding herself in an imbroglio of sponsoring terrorism, as the Scandinavian nation is accused of funding the said terrorism. The international advocate wants the nation of Norway to pay indemnities to victims of the Anglophone crisis worth 600 billion CFA francs due to the atrocities caused by Ayaba Cho,
and instructed to uphold not just its national laws, but also its international laws.
The said US-based lawyer has more than 20 convictions of separatists to his credit and 187 complaints to the US Department of Homeland Security against Anglophone separatists residing in the United States of America. With the Bureau of Investigation (FBI), these measures have been put in place to make sure persons living in the United States of America desist from committing atrocities on the people of the northwest and southwest region. With the international borderline that these atrocities are committed most at times, Ayaba Cho's lawsuit, if found guilty and verdict passed, it will be an eye-opener to the different proponents of violence and atrocities on the Anglophone population in the armed conflict. And we take you to one of our lead stories. As we did mention earlier, the Cameroonian government has put into place the new rules for the personal income tax that were announced last time by the said government. The income tax that involve both unemployed and employed persons in Cameroon is one that is directed towards the declaration of assets by the said persons, and in which they state on how they get their income at the end of the day. This said stipulation has sparked controversies across the various Cameroonian society, as Claudine Tamfo tells us more.
The state of Cameroon, in her recent tax reform policy, says from September onwards, all nationals, regardless of their employment status, will be required to declare their income. This disposition, that has met with diverse reactions, underline a political charge in the country's taxation system.
It's not a new tax, it's an existing tax that its implementation was simply suspended. So reactivating it now is not the best decision, given that the economy is still very low, or is still very down. The population really is having heavy tax burden, which we can certify with the increase in fuel prices, which was translated by a price hike in goods and services, as well as stamp duties that was increased.
With this, some financial analysts are puzzled on enacting such a drastic measure on the nation at a time where many Cameroonians are barely surviving in the country.
At the eve of an electoral year, taking such an unpopular decision, rest assured the consequences are dire. You could suffer a vote of non-confidence next year from the population, so it's quite a risk the government is taking.
Complying to the income tax is therefore crucial for all.
Tous les Camerounais doivent payer les impôts.
All
all Cameroonians must pay their taxes. There is no reason why some should pay and others shouldn't. You know, there are people who are extremely wealthy. They have a lot of assets, but they don't pay taxes. The tax administration is out to correct this.
Cameroonians are hoping to see the reality and the practicality of such a move as they do not see its essence.
And away from that, let's move on to the town of Buea, precisely in the village of Great Support, where commuters using the stretch of road in Great Support in the Buea subdivision are complaining bitterly on the set narrow nature of the roads that links to the Great Support market in the town of Buea as a result of the construction of an enlarged bridge over there at the Moki Garage area done by the Buea Council authorities. This, according to the local persons on the street of Great Support, they are having a negative toll as a result of this engagement. Reporter Rita Mafani Mujoko, George Asong, went on to investigate on this situation over there.
Following the new order from the Buea Council by the mayor, which states that the mobility of persons and the circulation of vehicles along the stretch of road from Moki Garage will be interrupted for a period of 6 months due to the reconstruction of the bridge, the stretch of road from Great Support Market to Palapala Field was selected for usage. This has, however, been received with mixed feelings by many persons in the markets and even the neighborhood.
This time business really pass over before any man get one small table where you put and so then now you don't can make another way don't ship guy for pass me what the pass you are worrying me for one cent a problem. So sometimes they can't put away they need to some only move and say more maybe she not for there.
To some taxi drivers, they find it hard to use the roads due to its nature and the hours spent there.
It's affecting us because of the bad roads. It didn't great. It didn't arrange a whole way for us, the driver, to use it. But yeah, as you can see from there, you have stones there that are disturbing. Sometimes you hit our sump of the engine, affects the engine. Then the ball joint of the car, the tire, it affects the ball joint. So it's very difficult for us to use this part of the road. So some of us will come and turn here and go back. Because to pass here, the road is too small. As you can see, it's too small for two cars to pass at the same time. Sometimes we struggle to see how we will find our way.
The market vendors, on the other hand, see this as an opportunity to easily move their goods into the market and also create a safe space for customers, which wasn't the case before.
Now development where it will help all we, because as I don't make an hour we don't come for about to the sea and say a good thing where go can be, yes, for the road, because we overfed type for the market. Motor they not be get access or pass.
According to those in the neighborhood, they face many challenges leaving their homes to their various destinations as they have to trek long distances to reach the junction in order to get a taxi.
Based on the road blockage, it has cost us, I'll speak first on the effect, it has cost us a distance limit. When I talk about a distance, some of us used to leave our house and stand at the roadside to take a taxi. But now, from this period, henceforth, we need to check to a certain distance, even though it's still at the road. We need to check to a certain distance, like 2 meters, to get to the junction where they have aligned us to take a taxi from there. So it has limited some people. Even the bridge, where the bridge is blocked, some people cannot take a taxi from that location. So they'll need to check far beyond where they are to come to YC so that they can easily take a taxi.
The road they affect me because we come for here. I'm supposed to drop motor for Wise Market before work about food comes to for Bakuri Town. So we know they for wish for Bakuri Town is not easy for see motor for wait. You could drop it for Bakuri Town.
It should be noted that this reconstruction process will last for a period of 6 months, indicating that this road is expected to be in usage for the time being. Many are of the opinion that more should be done within the stretch of road from the Great Support Market to the Palapala Field to better the movement of vehicles.
And away from that, let's move on to the town of Buea, precisely in the village of Buea Support, where commuters using the stretch of road in Great Support in the And from the town of Boya, we take you to the town of Bacham, a locality in the west region of Cameroon, where a tragic incident has occurred in the neighborhood on Zedjuet neighborhood of Bacham in the west region after a lady chopped off the head of her husband after a marital dispute. This resulted to the lady to carry out these ungodly acts that have been condemned by both genders in the nation Cameroon and beyond. Aisha Mbang tells us more.
A woman in Buda is in custody after allegedly killing her husband in a domestic dispute. The incident that occurred in the night in the Zetwet neighborhood of Bacham subdivision, according to locals, involved the identification of the victim as Sikali Kiampi Dieudonné, 49-year-old. According to reports, Dieudonné and his 36-year-old wife, Karin Tiwa, had a heated argument after returning home from a traditional ceremony. The tragedy then struck when Dieudonné fell asleep and Tiwa allegedly attacked him with a neighbor's machete. The crime was only discovered early the following morning. The National Gendarmerie from the Bacham Brigade, led by Warrant Officer Eugene Jean-Baptiste, is investigating the incident. Preliminary findings suggest Dieudonné had previously complained about Tiwa's infidelity. Several locals corroborated these claims, stating they had heard Dieudonné accuse Tiwa of bringing men into their home. Dieudonné has already been buried in his family's residence. Meanwhile, Tiwa is currently detained. In all, this tragic incident has sent shockwaves through the Buda community.
And away from that macabre incident, let's talk something different with the Electoral Division of the Navy Department that has uncovered some 2.5 tons of plastic bags alongside some illicit drugs coming from neighboring Nigeria, not forgetting a consignment of illicit fuel, popularly known as Zwazwa, still from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Electoral Maritime Borders, this incident that took place recently was one that saw the Navy commander of the Electoral Richmond, who spoke to journalists on how they conducted the event and how it unfolded, as we have more. The Cameroon Navy Department in Douala intercepted 2.5 tons of suspicious plastic bags on the maritime coast recently in the littoral region of the country. The special operation yielded to this discovery of 17 barrels of 750 illicit fuel.
The Sea Marine seized up to 22 barrels, with 11 of the barrels containing white plastic, one of the barrels black plastic, and other types.
The Environmental Inspection Brigade Chief in the littoral region affirms the said plastic materials fails to meet up with the environmental norms.
We all know that non-biodegradable plastics have been banned, and government has put in place alternatives to help the population so they make use of just biodegradable plastics.
In the same month of June, the said unit confiscated almost 31 consignments of counterfeited medications ranging from antibiotics, anti-malaria, and anti-external problems on the human body. These successful operations of the National Navy Department confirms her stance when it comes to the combating of maritime crimes, insecurity in the littoral region and beyond. So our viewers in Cameroon and around the world, you are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our news studios here in High Television. We now take you to news out of the shores or beyond the shores of Cameroon. This time around, we take you to the East African giant of Kenya, a tragic where Kenyans took to the streets of Nairobi and other cities all across the East African nation of Kenya to decry on the new taxation system that have been put in place by the late administration of William Ruto, as the common man in Kenya complained of overburdened tax system and inflation that is having a huge toll on them following the meltdown of global economies all across the world. They burned part of the National Assembly in Kenya yesterday in Nairobi, as Aisha Bang recounts more.
A woman in Buda is in custody after allegedly killing her husband in a domestic dispute. The incident. A woman in Buda is in custody after allegedly killing her husband in a domestic dispute. The incident that occurred in the night in the Zetwet neighborhood of Bacham subdivision, according to locals, involved the identification of the victim as Sikali Kiampi Diodene, 49-year-old. According to reports, Diodene and his 36-year-old wife.
And we are deeply sorry for that mix-up there on that report from the East African nation of Kenya. We don't talk sports this time around. Tico United Football Club has been ousted in the ongoing mini Interpol for the Southwest region as they were defeated by Legend FC in a 2-1 defeat match that saw them being ousted from the match that was played at the Moliko Stadium in the town of Poya, as the boys of Tico have been kicked out. Our journalism student on internship, Precious Sinlu Hasma.
What a game today here at the Moliko Maize Sports Stadium. 2 games, and the last one which just ended here, as you can see from my back, places are already dark to tell you how very controversial and interesting this particular game was. We're talking about 120 minutes of play for Boya United and Kumba City Football Club, with Boya United excelling to the semi-finals of the South Regional League Mini Interpol, where they decided to ride history by beating Kumba City, and equally to tell you that the boys of Coach Alabas are indeed greatly happy for this particular victory of today, as it gives them another opportunity to be able equally to get through the next round of this particular competition.
We are very happy because this is the first time for Boya United to cross the quarterfinal of the mini Interpol. So I'm very happy to be the captain and carry the team to the semi-final, to just win this ball, to reach the semi-final, of the mini Interpol.
The both coaches, it was a game to admire, a game to go back to the drawing board, especially for Kumba City, and a game for Boya United to be able to recorrect some of the mistakes that they did.
I'm still searching for words. But all I can say is thanks to God. God made it possible for us to be here today. God made it possible for my young lads to skate through. Football, you never know. It took me 5 years to create these children that we are seeing. I had a lot of good comments, bad comments, but I trust in the boys. And last year, the same club beat me in the quarterfinals, 120 minutes. Today, I had a chance to revenge. But in life, as I always tell my boys, you must not go to Interpol. You must not go to the final. Whenever you are playing in a club, look at the history of the club. Once you create an impact, they say one step ahead from your previous step is an achievement. Today, we have made an achievement. Today, we have made an achievement that going to the final doesn't matter for me. In the history of Boya United, this set of players, I will enlarge their picture. I will put it in my house. I will put it in my office, and I will give thanks and glory to God. Thank you.
Personne n'est jamais content de perdre, surtout qu'on sort de très loin, on a fait une saison exceptionnelle et on arrive ici comme ça. Je crois que je n'ai pas trop reconnu les gars, mais je peux pas également tirer sur ces gars, mais parce que j'ai eu l'impression qu'ils ont donné tout ce qu'ils avaient à donner. Je vais beaucoup plus féliciter l'état d'esprit de Boya United. Vraiment bravo à cette équipe qui s'est battue, qui a prouvé que ce n'est pas évident qu'une équipe se fait battre 2 fois. Je pense que la saison dernière, ils ont rencontré Kumba City en quart de finale. Kumba City les a enlevés. Je pense qu'ils sont venus avec un esprit extrêmement revanchard. Même s'ils perdent le prochain match, je pense qu'ils ont gagné leur compétition.
Despite this defeat from the Memel side, it was the president of Kumba City Football Club who instead appreciated the magnitude of the game that he witnessed today.
We'll differ with you. It's not a disappointing evening. It is a very, an utmost, an extreme, successful and joyous evening. And when I say that, I mean for the football of the Southwest region. You know, we promote the football of the Southwest region, and then of course we think about the football of Cameroon. What we have watched here today, I think we have watched 2 teams, 2 Elite 1 teams playing, coming from the regional league of the Southwest region. I want to congratulate, of course, first, the regional president, Mr. Ndaze, that we all know, before even moving over now to the president of Boya United, and of course, to all the participants actually that have taken part in this competition. I think we've watched the finals today. Permit me say that. You know, it's the pre-final. We watched a game that I thought it is the European Nations Cup that we're actually watching now, which is ongoing. This was super football. So as the city mayor of course, Kumba, and the president of Kumba City Football Club, I want to give my congratulations and of course express to you guys my utmost joy because we have won. The Southwest region has won. We have proven our worth. We have proven the football that we play. We have proven that we are actually the mothers and why not even also the father of football in Cameroon, and we are ready. Whatsoever team that leaves here going for the Interpols to represent us, I can assure you we're going to have another Elite 2 team to join Isosa in Elite 2 and of course also Opopo.
Clubs already, La Boya United, we're talking about Fako United, have already said through the mini Interpols, which is coming up on Thursday. Who among the 4 teams left are going to pick up a ticket to the finals, and who among the 2 teams equally that are going to get to the finals is going to represent the Southwest population in general into the national Interpols. And equally to reiterate that we have just one region yet that has pronounced her own representative, which is the West region, and it is Bokan the Noon. And equally for those who were at the national Interpols last year, they will tell you that Bokan the Noon is a household name, where last year they represented the West region, and this time around beating Sable the Betty with 1 goal to nil. It tells you that these boys have a lot to offer in terms of this particular national Interpols that will be coming up in the month of July. But nevertheless, we stay in the Southwest region waiting who will be crowned the 2023-2024 champions of the Southwest Regional League, and equally the representative for this particular region.
And that was rather the report on Boya United FC, who has qualified for the semi-finals of the ongoing Southwest Mini Interpol as they recorded a 3-2 victory over there in the Moliko Sports Stadium against Kumba City FC recently. And we'll now move on to this other report still on the Southwest Mini Interpols, where Tico United Football Club has been ousted from the competition of the Southwest Mini Interpol as they suffered a 2-0 defeat. Recently, the Samba boys of Tico United were cut short of their chances to make things happen during this last phase of the tournament, as that saw them being voted out. We have details on that story with journalism student on internship, Precious Silnew.
Left with 2 spots to clinch a ticket for the Southwest Mini Interpol semi-finals, the first encounter of the day saw Tico United take on Legend FA. After much play and pressure on both sides, it was Brown Simid Keng Tata who disengaging the net in favor of the Samba boys of Tico United with his athletic kick. Henry B. Enos on goal in favor of Legend leveled the scores to 1-1 in the first 45 minutes of play. The second half saw both teams fighting for victory as we saw them kicking the ball into the waiting hands of the goalkeeper, who played exceptionally well at the goal. However, it was Bertrand Taki who became the messiah of his club as he scored the winning goal, taking the team to the semi-finals, leaving the scores at 2-1. Coach of Tico United, they played against a good side and luck wasn't on their side. Of Legend, he is very happy and will prepare to go as far as the national Interpols. Game saw fans from Tico, Kumba and all over the Southwest to witness this particular encounter. However, Legend FA now joins Fako United FC and Best Stars Academy, who have already clinched tickets for the semi-finals to be played on Thursday, June 27 at the Moliko Omi Sports Stadium.
And with our sports reports and done by Precious Silnew, this is what concludes tonight's news package, High Prime, of Wednesday, the 26th day of June. Thanks for watching and good night from our news studios.